continue to shrink, though, which hopefully is going to be a good thing.
Okay, well, that's good, but it looks like they will be reissuing tornado with considerable tornado, very large tornadoes. We just saw once again what just happened is that Chris Sander, that road became impassable. Debris all across the road. He could not get any farther, so he is now having to reposition on this storm that's out across Garvin County. But for those of us in Oklahoma City and Oklahoma City Metro, First Alert Doppler 3D shows storms going up now over more. Just got a report of some hail. There is a hail core with this on the east side of Sooner Road, just east of the Royal Bavaria, but we're still seeing that rotation that is coming in right over. This is going to be 4th Street and Moore, 19th Street, east of the brand new Moore Medical Center and east of the Warren Theater. This is going to be moving up now. It's going to be just right over Moore High School here and just north of Veterans Park. This is going to be some rotation within this storm moving to the east, goes into Stanley Draper Lake at 442, Newall at 509, West Watkins Lake 514, McLeod and Grand Casino here. This storm, as you can see, it's got that appendage to it, moving quickly to the east. We got to watch this one as well. All of these storms are going to be critical today, as we have already seen what the atmosphere can do down across Garvin County. The same thing could happen here. Field meteorologist Michael Armstrong in Storm Command. Where are you and what are you seeing?
Damon, we are actually in North Norman right now. We're at Robinson Street, I-35, looking at 2 different storms right now, as a matter of fact. We have the storm that's to our south. That's the storm that's down over the Noble area that you're looking at on our 360 cam. And I'm actually going to take this around now and look back up at the Moore storm. So you actually have 2 storms right now. Neither one are super intense. They do have a little bit of hail. I've seen a report of 1-inch diameter hail now along Highway 9, reported from a National Weather Service employee. So these storms do have kind of some little notches on the back side of them. We're going to watch them close. Nothing tornadic right now. Back to you.
All right, well, hey, just so you know, the storm over Norman, Michael, is starting to show at least some signs of strength in it. So stay on that storm, because this is going to eventually move into Pottawatomie County. So from what we are getting now from the emergency manager in Murray County, who is also appears to be working in towards Garvin County as well, is that this tornado has roped out right along I-35. That is good. That is great. You're currently watching KOCO 5 at 5 o'clock, and we've started our coverage early because the tornado threat has been there. We have already seen a very large and powerful tornado that moved across Garvin County, now in the Murray County. Close inspection right along I-35 from County Road 3260, 3250. This is right over I-35. Chris Sander, if he's live on the phone right now, I want to get Chris on just to get an update from him as to what he is seeing from this storm. Chris, it appears that we may have, it sounds like this storm may have roped out. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, guys, this tornado, I don't have visual on it anymore. I am way northwest of it by several miles, but last I saw it was a rope, and it was roping out. It does look like, from my vantage point now as I top this hill, this tornado has indeed roped out, but I would say that this is probably a cyclic supercell. It looked like it was trying to develop a new area of rotation, so I would not put it past it to do the same thing it just did, just in a little bit.
All right, well, stay on it, Chris, and be safe. I know there's a lot of debris that is going to be out across some of these roads here. We now have a severe thunderstorm warning coming for Cleveland County, and I do believe this is going to be, there's 2 cells right now in Cleveland County. There's one that's going to be east of Moore. It's getting ready to make its way over Stanley Draper Lake here. And then there's another that is going to be over Norman. Both of them are showing well-defined hail cores, and it looks like at least some appendages and some circulation. Where exactly is Sky 5 right now? So, okay, so it looks like they have warned on both cells. Jonathan, what do you have?
So Sky 5 is looking at the Norman cell, and we just talked to them, and he said of those 2 storms, he's on the southern storm, the one that's east of Norman going over Lake Thunderbird. That's the base of it. And he says that base is stronger than the northern cell, which just left Moore. Lawrence is on the storm near Moore, moving towards Tinker Air Force Base. This southern storm in Norman, you're looking at the base of it, and as Sky 5 is right there, we're looking at it, and that's could be a wall cloud developing on the southern side of that storm, and that's just going to be east-southeast of Norman, okay? So there's a lot of low-level shear in the atmosphere today. We saw that with the tornado down near Joy and Wynnewood, And that is happening up here in Oklahoma City. Again, the low-level winds are just right now that these storms are going to rotate. And you can see in reflectivity that they're not real tall, but in the low levels, they have that kind of hook signature. So we have to watch these very carefully. You can see on the right-hand side, maybe a little appendage there. I'm not saying that's trending towards a funnel or anything, but this is what we're going to have to watch, because I think the way the environment is right now, like what we saw down near Wynnewood, I think tornado development could happen pretty quick.
All right, and if we can bring Sky 5 up, I do want to talk to Rob Schnetzer and get an exact location. I believe he might be just a little bit south of Moore. Being from Cleveland County, it looks like this topography here might be a little bit more of Norman than Moore, but I do want to get an exact location of where he is here moving across Cleveland County. Sky 5 looking at this spin right here, and it looks like there might be, at least at times, a little bit of a lowering coming out of this. Hey, Rob, we have you live right now. Hey, Rob, two things. First off, where exactly are you? And number two, what are you seeing with this rotation in front of you?
Actually, we're over the airport in Norman right now, and we're just kind of looking at this and watching. You know, what you were saying right here is exactly right. We've got some lowering.
Yeah.
And you were right on it right there, Damon. I'm going to see if I can go ahead and push in just a bit.
Yeah, push in just a bit there. So for those of you that are watching this right now, so Rob just said he is right over Max Westheimer Airport in Norman, looking to the southeast here, east, and it is going to be this part right here that is spinning. Now, we do have two cells right now that are ongoing in Cleveland County. This right here, just in around Norman, does appear to be a little bit stronger. At least that was the latest report that we had that came in. Although both of these storms are showing at least some structure here and some rotation as they are now moving just right along I-35. So this is the storm that we're looking at. Both of these do show at least some inflow. Jonathan, put a storm track on this cell, because this will go into Pottawatomie County. Goes into Little Axe Pink right around 5 o'clock, Shawnee Reservoir 5:16, Bethel Acres 5:21, and then goes into Tecumseh there at 5:31. Let's keep these pictures hot, guys. Let's keep these pictures hot. Moving to the east, going into Pottawatomie County here. That is going to be for this. Jonathan, let's look at velocity right now with both of these cells. I want to see which one at least is spinning, and yeah, it looks like, yeah, you're right. We're gonna have to go down with this one on the southern end. So east of Norman, this is going to be the storm of particular concern. Jonathan, what a wild afternoon we have seen here. These supercells are going up in a very unstable environment. What are you seeing?
And here's the deal, folks. When we're looking at these storms and you're looking at them, you're saying, well, Jonathan, I mean, these storms don't look real big on radar. Here's the deal. They're really close to the radars. So they're not going to look real impressive. They're not going to look real bright. We are literally looking at the lowest parts of the storm. So the footprint of the storm is going to be relatively small. But trust me, the parts that we're looking at, we can see these storms are trying to rotate. If you look at some of the winds, Damon, the winds in Norman right now are literally out of the southeast. That is a highly sheared, low-level wind, and east of I-35, the winds are to the southeast. That area is very conducive for these rotating storms. Again, close to the radar site, they're not going to look impressive on radar, but they are rotating. And as soon as the dry line is punching into Oklahoma City right now. So as these storms move to the east, OKC will be in the clear. I don't expect more storms to develop right now. As we look at these storms, again, we have these two storms real close to the radar. Here's the one which is just south of Tinker Air Force Base. Lawrence, we notice that you're just to the north of this storm. How's it looking from your vantage point?
Now, we're watching the storm right now. It's trying to get better organized. I can tell you exactly what you've been telling the viewers here recently. There is a lot of shear in the atmosphere, and you can just see it. I mean, just very imminent right now out here as the clouds, just a lot of the clouds are just swirling around out here and stuff. These storms aren't anything to mess around with. Definitely, if you live on the east side of the metro, I would definitely be paying attention to these storms as they move your way. Jonathan?
Yeah, thank you, Lawrence. And again, these storms, highly sheared environment. And again, even though technically, Dame, I think we got to talk about this. A lot of people saw the watches and are like, oh, it's just a thunderstorm watch. You can still have tornadoes in a thunderstorm watch.
Yeah, you're spot on there, Jonathan. You can never put your guard down, even on a severe thunderstorm watch. Let's go back down to this storm. Chris Sander, we have you live on the phone. Chris, it looks like this storm is ramping up. What are you seeing?
Yeah, there's a tornado imminent right now on this storm. I am south of Wynnewood on I-35. I'm going to get in a better position on this thing. There's not really any good roads to get over to where I want to be. to get a good view of it. But there is a rapidly rotating base with intermittent funnels. I would not be surprised if there's actually a tornado on the ground with this thing right now.
Yeah, and it looks like things are starting to pick up, and this is the same storm that Chris Sander was on earlier where we had that large violent tornado. We are now getting reports of a house that has been destroyed completely there, and some major damage on the west side of I-35 from this significant tornado that moved across Garvin County, now in Murray County. This coming in from Chris Sander. He is near Wynnewood. Same storm showing signs of rotation. First alert Doppler 3D shows that we're starting to see that hook redevelop now east of I-35, just north of Davis. Joy, this storm is still very much a threat for you. You need to be going into your tornado shelter, and especially if you're just south of Wynnewood as this storm continues to move to the east. Want to go out to field meteorologist Michael Armstrong. Michael, where are you and what are you seeing? Tornado warning for the tornado.
Damon, right now we are in.
Real quick, Michael, they're going to issue tornado warning for Norman, for this storm in the south side of Norman. So heads up, tornado warning will be coming for Norman there, John, Michael. Just want to give you a heads up. What are you seeing from your vantage point?
Yeah, we're in Norman. We're right here on it. We're at Highway 9 and 177. We're going to be tracking this east along Highway 9. Here's the deal. If you live along Lake Thunderbird in eastern Cleveland County over toward Pink and then eventually toward Shawnee, that's the direction that this storm is moving. I can confirm that there is mid-level rotation in this storm. I don't have anything that's hanging down that's producing a tornado at this time. We are right here. We are all over this wall cloud that is trying to develop here on Highway 9, very close, again, to Norman. It's on the southeast side of Norman. And rotation, I don't see any rapid low-level rotation yet, Damon, but I can tell you the mid-level rotation continues to increase. Kyle, we need to go ahead and stop here for a second and just watch the sky. We're real close here, so we don't need to be moving too quickly. Damon, we're right here in Norman on the southeast side of Norman. We're going to watch this storm as it develops. It's got a lot of lowered areas. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Sky 5 shows a really good shot, and you can see OU there in the picture. Sky 5 right now. Control room, if we can go over to Sky 5. We can go to Sky 5. Here you go. So this is going to be OU right here. This is going to be the lowering that we are seeing with this storm. And as field meteorologist Michael Armstrong just mentioned, there is a lot of rotation within this storm. Mid-level rotation on the right-hand side. That is the storm track. This is going to put it into Little Axe, Pink, Shawnee Reservoir, Bethel Acres, and then eventually into Tecumseh, Shawnee, Pottawatomie County. This is a tornado warning that will be coming out any second now. If you have your emergency alerts activated on your phone, if you hear it go off, it is because you are in the tornado warning. So once again, your cell phones out across Cleveland County, east of Norman, going into Pottawatomie County, if you're in that area, then your phone is likely going to go off any minute now with a tornado warning. You can see here, this is the updated storm track. So here you go, brand new tornado warning has just been issued, and more than likely the tornado sirens will be sounding in parts of Cleveland County. Going into Pottawatomie County, this storm will be moving to the east at 25 miles per hour. It is also warned for golf ball size hail. Once again, a tornado warning has now been issued just east of Norman. So those of you that are on the west side of I-35 in Norman, you're okay. This storm is east of you, just north of Highway 9. And control room, let's keep Sky 5 up, and let's keep field meteorologist Michael Armstrong shot up as well, because these storms are moving to the east, and this is an updated storm track. So Denver, Little Axe, Pink, Shawnee Reservoir, go into your tornado shelter immediately. This is going to be moving in your direction. Sky 5, there you can see it on, or let's see, we have our, these are coming from the ground, but Sky 5 showing a great view of it right now. And we can put Sky 5 up as well, because Sky 5 continues to show that lowering that is associated with this storm. And there you can see Sky 5 in the middle there. This is going to be just east of OU, east of Norman here, south of the community of Franklin. Once again, it looks like the storm continues to wrap up. Jonathan, I know you're looking at a lot of products right now, but this storm east of Norman and then the storm down to the south, both are the two most dangerous storms in the entire state right now.
Spot on there, Damon. And Sky 5 is on this storm just to the east of Norman, and he's right behind it. He's vectoring around back to the south of the storm over to the east, and you can see it. And there's that bowl in there. So Sky 5 will move a little bit more to the east and get out ahead of the storm, so the storm's a little more backlit. So again, that's the storm track coming into Little Axe at about 5 p.m. Pink at about 5:10, Shawnee Reservoir.